Welcome to LBM Flash Moments with Phil Fornaro.
All right, hello everyone. This is Phil Fornaro, and this is LBM Flash Moment. This is a shorter version of our episodes, and love solo casting. And we've been watching it, and it seems like it's absorbing into the world. People are listening to that. People like a little bit of variety, so we're trying to give our bright community as much variety as possible. So I'm going to give a little bit of sort of like a little bit of a wrap what's going now. I'm doing this podcast on April 4th, day before Easter, getting ready for a nice dinner with the family and interacting and just feeling like I have so many things going on. And I go, I got to do a flash moment. I feel better if I'm always doing a flash moment at least once a week, twice a week, sometimes even 3 and 4 times a week. But here's some stuff that's going on. So the week of March 30th of 2026, fabulous. We had a 4-day run of about 9,000. We had our best day ever on April 2nd. There was 3,775 people that downloaded our episodes. And what was really cool to watch is that it looks like it was a mix of older and newer podcasts and a mixture of flash moments and guest episodes. And I think people are starting to understand that the guests that we have and the reflection that we have because of our guests are positive and give a little bit of a break from the everyday of social media and LinkedIn. And I was thinking about this the other day, and we'll get into our topic probably in a couple of minutes because I have a lot of feedback, a lot of things I want to talk about. And that was actually right there was an LBM digression, thanks to Jeff Egan from episode 181 and dubbing most of my podcast as a LBM digression because we digress into various things. Although Bill Carney has harped that it's not an actual LBM digression, that it's an LBA tangent. But we'll battle that out soon. And Bill Carney and Jeff Egan, maybe you can battle it out on the Spark line. And in the show notes, you can reach out to us or our website at lbmpodcast.com. You can dive into the Spark line and give your comments about things that we've said on the episode. Give us a light bulb moment, or just chat and have a digression of your own. Anyway, where was I? So the idea is that now people are sort of diving into the podcast because I had my huge light bulb moment this week, and it was pretty funny. As I said, at the very beginning, we started talking. We should have a little bit of interaction. People should disagree, and have more of a structured session where people are sort of battling out ideas. But I finally came to the conclusion, yes, we disagree with our guests, and yes, we point it out, but it's not an active anger session. It's not, you're wrong. It's, okay, I see that position. This is how I see that position. And these are rare because we're really sort of aligning around concepts that bring us all together here on Light Bulb Moments. We're not really trying to, jam anything down anybody's throat. If, politics, religion, whatever it may be, it's not, it doesn't have its place here in terms of battling it out. And I think that's what we're different. And we're trying to develop this because we want to have this human connection in this age of AI. And I think that's where we're going. We're building our community, one guest, one flash moment, one light bulb moment, one discussion, one connection at a time. So if people are interacting in the Bright community at the level that I think they are, we're getting there, right? We're done with the distractions. We don't need to look every 5 minutes at our phones, seeing what's going on, seeing if we liked it or not liked it. Anyway, I think this is where we're going. So here's some feedback from some of our guests, and some that are not guests, that just are just people that we talk to on a daily basis. Carter O'Mara the other day, who's son of Mike O'Mara, episode 105, said he listened to Joe Wabeck's episode. He worked with Creshmore, and Joe Wabeck was episode 54, fascinating young guy, as is Carter. And Carter said he really enjoyed how they projected the episode and how Joe explained what his business was all about. He says that Joe should grab the Light Bulb Moment episode, chop it up, and use it as training video because he really explained his business, how they operate. And if someone can get the benefit of spending an hour with me, 45 minutes, whatever, and they can get content to help their business, that's beautiful. That makes me so happy. And the fact that Carter sort of pulled it out just by listening to the episode, he's giving a light bulb moment to Joe, and maybe Joe will interact. I haven't even got a chance to talk to Joe. We'll see Joe on April 20th and see what he has to say about that. Scott Richrath, who was episode in the 210s, I think we don't have the episode number yet because I just did the episode with him the other day, and he said he was listening to Peter Troost, which was episode 83. Fantastic episode, by the way. We talked to him and Scott Richrath, dear friend of mine. He says he listened to Peter Troost, and he listened to somebody else, and they were high school friends as well. And the idea was is he felt like we were sitting in a room just having a conversation. And that gave me great passion. It's like that's what exactly what we're trying to hit. So it's great feedback. And we keep on going. It keeps on, sort of going on and to who's interacting in our Bright community, who is giving back to our Bright community, because people don't have to say anything. They could just listen, not mention things, and just absorb the content and do things along their own way, which is perfectly fine. Fine. We're not chasing people for you to go ahead and tell us every time you make a connection. That would be an impossible thing. We'd like to hear it just because it inspires us to do it and do it more and to connect more and get more people and get more guests. And the other feedback is we're getting all these PR firms now sending episode requests. Now I don't know how to handle that. It's very funny. I was talking to Doug Sandler the other day on the just actually we did another podcast with him. He has a company called Turnkey Podcast that does the publication for us and many other podcasters. We were talking about that. What do you do with these people? Because now it's all AI. I know it's AI because the words that come back, are because I don't enunciate. See, I almost did it again sometimes, and it picks up the wrong words. So, we don't know what's true, not true. So we have to navigate that process. But the fact that they're picking up light bulb moments, that's a wonderful thing as well. Enough about that. I just wanted to give you the feedback that we're getting. And just to show you that we need you in our Bright community to also give us feedback and interact on Sparkline and give us reviews when you can, just because it helps us get to another level so we can impact more people in this world. So that's great. So funny thing happened the other day, and this will sort of get into the nuts and bolts of our podcast today, because we've sort of gone on and on a little bit about stories, et cetera, and experiences. But here's what happened. So we're checking out the website, and Doug Sandler had said, "Hey, how many subscribers do you have?" Oh, no, it was Vera Gravilovich from episode 149. She goes, "How many subscribers do you have?" I go, "Well, I don't know. I have no idea." So we check our website, and it looked like it was 5. And I go, Val, our fearless leader here at Lightbulb Moment says she goes, "Oh, how did this happen?" And she got very excited because we've been doing so many good things, so we don't have any subscribers. We're not gathering any data to send newsletters, other things. So this is now a year and a half in. So where otherwise we'd have all this information to even expand the reach of Lightbulb Moments. I paused and I said, I started laughing and chuckling. I go, "Yeah, that's okay. We're doing fine. No harm, no foul. We'll figure it out." And this is like everyone's like looking at me like, "Huh? Who is this guy?" And the funny thing is that under normal circumstances, I would experience a reaction so negative, so angry, so put out, because we didn't do everything purposely, and we might even have to change the intro to the podcast about maximizer and optimizer, and of course I still am, but it was put into a way now that we're maximize things, but we don't have to maximize everything at once. My perspective has shifted, and if you've learned nothing from this podcast, is that the light bulb moments is all about a perspective shift. What was the end of the world before, maybe a nice opportunity to reset, and maybe it was better for us because we didn't have all our legal stuff up as it relates to gathering information because we haven't gathered any information. So it's good for us that we didn't do it. So that's a positive. Make a positive out of what is perceived to be a negative. So Valerie instantly jumped into action and called Sarah Williamson, who's doing a wonderful, wonderful job for us on LinkedIn. She's working with Michaela, one of our team members, and and really sort of getting us out there and getting interaction with people and showing. And we started some video and some snippets as well. We're going to get more onto YouTube as we evolve the podcast. However, it was Sarah goes, let's make take lemons and make some lemonade. And I go, that's awesome. Let's do that. So now we're going to have a nice contest. By the time you hear this podcast, probably already had the contest. But the idea is have the contest that if people subscribe, they can get into a raffle and then, get a cup, maybe win, a prize, maybe one of our guests' restaurants, depending on whoever they win. If they don't, we'll, if it's outside of our area, we'll obviously find another location for them to do it. But anyway, the idea is that my non-explosion, my non-worrying about it, it really is a better thing. It's a positive impact. People then jumped into action to help light bulb moments and make this somewhat of a positive, rather than the negative it could have been. And I'm sort of proud of myself, because I have been trying very hard to change my personality, and it's only that light bulb moments has caused me to do this. I probably won't do this in other aspects of my life, although I try real hard. It's a lot easier in this format. That means I have passion. That means I respect all the things that our team members have done to grow this model and how much time and effort they get into it. And like we said, we make mistakes all the time. We've been pretty lucky so far in not making too many mistakes and doing things right from the beginning and thinking it out and planning as we go along and planning for the future here, which we'll talk about in a second. So that's good. I mean, just remember this, put this bright community, think about this in terms of your life is that when something really sort of happens that wasn't planned for, or something that maybe something that is very, very difficult to absorb, say, yeah, let's make lemon out of lemonades. Or let's make lemonade out of these lemons that come into our life. See, I screwed up the cliche. Heather Kavanaugh, one of our glorious team members at Fornaro Law, says bought me a book and to read some of these things, but I still screw them up. So sorry about that, Heather. I'm trying. Anyway. So let's talk about this. So the concept, we've talked about team building, and many of the guests have talked about team building. I've talked about it on the solo cast as well, many times. But now it's very interesting. I have attracted so many people that have so much energy. Although we have a lot of type A's here, we got a lot of very overachievers now in the group. Obviously, we talked about Vera. Dan O'Donohue, who's just on episode 185, has jumped in. He's helping us build some stronger websites, more intuitive, more technology based, using AI features. He's got great ideas. His company TaskBite, he built that one, and that's growing rapidly. And he liked the concept of light bulb moments in our bright community. Obviously, we have Vera, Molly, Michaela. We talked about Sarah. All these people are coming together for the common good of this enterprise here, of growing this bright community to the level that I know for sure I can't do on my own. So the idea here is that I continuously come up with content. And now with ChatGPT, it's significant content. It keeps on growing and growing and growing. And I'm not a really good implementer of this concept. I can talk and I can provide content, and that's my role. And I can make connections and sort of structure what this thing looks like. But these other people are really the core to what will be a fabulous community that we grow, I think, internationally, and it will grow very rapidly based on the things that we're doing and how we're developing light bulb moments. And just as a teaser, now Bright community, we're creating. Although light bulb moments at Bright Community will always be intermingled, we are building a beta tested Bright website, which we're going to take very slowly, and we're going to grow it over time to really sort of help people connect at a web-based level. And it's going to be this momentum that what's happening already in our Bright community, people connecting, and we've talked about that before. I might just do a podcast just on that. But the idea is that people are connecting as a result of hearing each other on the podcast, or one person hearing the other. They're reaching out to these people and interacting at a pretty tremendous level. And then when I do these podcasts, I'm able to take one of the people and I go, hey, you have to do it. I just did it the other day with Ryan Schneider, who's wellness in the workplace with Thrive 25. And I said, you have to talk to Steph Shodroff, because she's been on the podcast. I don't know what episode she is, but you could check it, just search on the website or on Apple or Spotify. And what I saw is that they both were talking about wellness in the workplace. So it's an easy connection. We're going to try to do that at a web-based platform. And, Danny's already done the MVP. And I'm confident by the time you're hearing this episode, we'll be up and running and running that as well. But the concept is that all these people have other ideas, bigger, better ideas, and expand and grow and learn. And it's because the passion, that people love the passion and they love to be part of something that's a little bit bigger than, what they do in their normal day jobs. Because this is not my day job, right? This is something that I want to give back to the world and give back to myself, most importantly. Um, so anyway, we're also redesigning the LBM website to be more proactive, more interactive, more of a moving. We're not trying to sell anything. We want people to sort of be able to navigate the process of the website and then gain even better value. You don't have to listen just to the episodes and interact. That you can interact on the website to learn more and to connect with guests directly from the website. So a lot of things happening. I'm not trying to run at it. I'm excited, but I'm going to let our team go at their pace. And whenever it's done, it's done, and it's okay if it takes a little bit longer. But with this team, I'm not too worried. I think it's going to happen pretty quickly. So that's something that's a light bulb moment for the Bright community. When you become passionate about stuff, anything at all, relationships appear to support that, because people see the passion. They see that we're not trying to sell anything to them or anybody else, and suddenly all these other people jump in because they can help with the common good of getting something done. So find your passion. We talk about it all the time. If you can find that passion, this is where you're going to grow as a person. This is where you're going to help other people grow as well. Finally, as it relates to this, Vera and I and Val have been working on this for a little while now. We've sort of figured out that relationship capital sort of is what is built inside of me, and what we're trying to allude to is the fact that light bulb moments, the Bright community, our community involvement, the outside general counsel through Fornaro Law, and all the networking that we live in on a daily basis and connecting with people that is non-business and business related. It all sort of comes together under this concept of relationship capital. So what you're going to start seeing in the next year or so is sort of all these concepts intertwining, so that all of them are pushing towards this Bright community where we can build it at even higher levels. So sorry, I'm sort of way off from where we started, but I'm really, really excited about the potential of what we're doing there. So here's the rub. I was just slowing down. I think I read a book or I did a podcast with a couple people at the same time, and I think it was Steph and Olivia Sue Friedman and the Sister Project. So those two doing a great podcast, and it was like, slow down and relax, and don't look at your technology, and walk around, and take some time away from your email. And I go, oh yeah, that's great. And I learned from them. And I slowed it down. I slowed it down to such an extent that my mind exploded. So I 100% needed it. But now I was slowing down. We weren't doing anything other than making things more efficient. Now I'm going crazy again. I've absorbed. I'm on ChatGPT probably 3 hours a day. On the weekends, it's about 12 hours. and I'm building things and I'm working with people and I'm still getting clients for Fornaro Law. We're growing the practice. We're getting more technology efficient. We're, developing systems and processes. So I'm speeding up again. However, this time it's a little different. This time, and I do want my time away. I agree with everything these people I just mentioned a couple minutes ago are saying, because at some point you'll burn and you'll be tired and you won't want to do this and it won't become fun anymore. The problem is the conundrum I'm having is that I'm enjoying it so much. I'm enjoying the pace of it. It's not like when I'm under great stress. There's no friction in it. It's just enjoying the moment, whatever it may be. So we'll balance that. We'll come back to talk about that. I'd be love to hear if somebody has that same situation with anything else that they do where they can just sort of run at it and it doesn't draw any energy. It doesn't tire you out. So anyway, Sparkline's ready for if you decide to do that. So tomorrow, hopefully you enjoyed that episode. That was a little bit too much energy for me, but that sometimes happens. That means it's good day to be talking. Tomorrow we're going to talk to Matt Kurbis. And he has really sort of disrupted the legal profession through AI and more of a SaaS model with his legal work. And I love what he's doing because everybody knows that a lot of these businesses are going to change. A lot of these industries have to change. And if you're going to be a younger business or a smaller business, you have the ability to pivot and be nimble and change. And he's going to talk about that. And it's not just because it's illegal. We talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, but the model is the same. Look at your business and try to maneuver it to disrupt and to change to follow what the path is going now with AI and systems and processes and all the other things. He loves saying, all this is very hard disrupting industries, but you just have to jump in and just do it. Always try to create a win-win. And what I really like about what he's going to talk about is how we all have to put things into context and really value your family time, not just your business and industry time. So hope you enjoyed this episode and hope you enjoyed your week. We'll see everyone tomorrow for another positive day of illuminating thoughts and light bulb moments. See you, everyone.